Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to Unlocked, the show that decodes companies. Today I receive Victoria and Carolina from Edenred and we'll talk about Edenstep International Graduate Program. So how to be recruited, what are the challenges, we'll see that in details. But also you know that you can directly send your questions in our Instagram at jobteaser_. Really do not hesitate to send your questions because we will answer to all of your DMs during the show. You are watching Unlocked, but first let's start with Pitch Me That. Hi Carolina, hi Victoria.
Hello.
Hi Lisa.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So Carolina, you are project marketing manager.
Yes.
And today you came with Victoria. And Victoria, you are head of group HR development.
Indeed.
So Victoria, you know that you'll have to pitch Edenred in 1 minute.
1 minute,
Yeah.
not more, not less.
No, 1 minute. Are you ready?
Yes, for
Well,
sure.
the countdown is on. When you want.
So hello everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to attend this Unlock show today. So Edenred, who we are, basically we are a B2B company and we aim to become the universal companion for people at work. So very concretely, what does it mean? It means that we want to provide payment solutions for entrepreneurs, for employees in different business lines. We are currently in 46 countries, so very international, 10,000 employees. Among the business lines, we are super known for the famous ticket restaurant solution, which is called like employee benefits business line. But we have also a huge business lines growing very much. And I think, Carolina, you will be able to say yes, which is fleet and mobility solutions. And basically in this kind of business line, we offer some solutions such as expense cards or fuel cards
yes.
for in several countries. To give you some key figures, we are a global technological platform. We have 2.5 billion transactions, which are the figures from last year's, which have been growing very much. And we are more and more in the mobile payment industry.
All right, you spoke more than 1 minute.
Yeah? Oh.
But it's okay, we have all the elements. So today you're looking for young talents to integrate your graduate program because you really want to create a community. That's what you were saying. So
Yes.
we'll see what kind of profile you're looking for, but also what do you offer to young talents in that graduate.
Okay.
Let's see that.
Like, okay.
So Victoria, can you explain us the graduate program? How is it composed?
So this graduate is still, I believe, new, if I can say. Carolina is a member of the first cohort that we have launched 4 years ago.
Yes, in 2017.
2 years ago now. The general idea is really to create a pool of young talented professionals all around the world. We know at Edenred that we are international. We know that we are super different from a country to another. And based on that, we said, okay, let's launch a graduate program where young graduates will be able to experiment 2 countries and 2 different jobs in our group. And so basically that's why we have launched Edenstep. And it will be the 4th time that we are like recruiting a new cohort.
So this is one program, but with 2 options.
Indeed.
Yes, so you do in 2 years, 2 countries in 2 different positions.
So a business and a digital one.
So finally, I would say yes and no. Yes, because you can have, if you join for the first year, something like that we can say business, i.e. linked to finance, strategy, marketing, or product management. But you can also work on digital. Finally, we have decided not to do any dedicated programs, but like a very generalist one. Why? Because we believe that our future leaders needs to be able to handle several tasks and able to adapt whatever the role in the country.
All right, so it starts in September 2020. What kind of profile are you looking for, Victoria?
Well, for sure, we have started with the international part, which is really important. I also really believe after like running the 4th campaign of recruitment of Edenstep that the key of success for a candidate to come is the capacity of learning fast first, but also the capacity of adaptation. I really believe these 2 points are the crucial one to be happy and performing also at Edenred. But Carolina,
if I can I think also you need to be very committed. So you're taking on a full-time job, so full of responsibilities, etc. And you really need to be able to take on challenges.
Just to precise it, you spoke about 2 countries and 2 jobs, but they can't choose the country where they will work.
yes and no again.
Yes and no. So you have some sort of saying, so you can give a little tip of where you want to go, but at the end of the day, it really depends on where they have a position in which country. But I mean, I guess everyone is really happy at the end with the opportunities they have.
We try to do our best to make everyone happy, but to answer very concretely to your question, when candidates come to our first part of the selection, which is a recruitment day, basically they just come for Eden Step. Right. And at this moment, during these days, they get to know where in different countries we can have roles and also in which area. And during that day, they say, okay, I would like to go, I don't know, in Southern America. I'm super open for marketing and strategy, but I'm not at all okay for Asia, for instance. And at the end, we deliberate and we say, okay, does this candidate eligible for the roles that we have? Yes, no. And if no, sometimes we propose other jobs.
And you told me that this is a specific contract.
Yes, indeed. So I don't know how many international students we have today connected, but we know that French people know very well what we call VIE, but a lot of foreigner students don't. So basically VIE contracts are open for European citizens under 28. It's a contract which is used by a lot of companies. It's very, how can I say that, oriented by the government, structured by French government, if I can say. And so eligibility, salary, all this kind of stuff, you can totally find it super open on the internet. It's on cvweb.com, I think, that you can find everything linked on that.
And if I can add, I think one of the good parts about this program is because you have all the support from Business France, so it's from the French government, so it provides you with the health insurance, etc., travel.
Indeed, it's a very good contract when you want to go
abroad. Yes, you have all the security that you will need.
And there are 10 job offers.
More or less, yeah.
More or less, all right. Can you tell us more about the hiring process?
Okay. So I start, and after you complete, if you agree. So to apply, it's pretty simple. We just ask basically a resume in English, and instead of a letter of motivation, we just ask a slide, so as to get to know a bit the future Eden Steppers in a different way, if I can say. After that, they are invited. They are having a first call, HR call, to see if they have been understanding correctly the program, our group. And after, they are invited at our head office, where during these days they have like an HR interview, a manager interview, and a collective case study. Basically, the goal of this day is really to assess the potential, the capacity of adaptation to adapt in Eden Step, and also really their motivation to join the program. As I was explaining to you before, they will also say where they want to go, what they want to do. And depending on how much successful they have been, well, the step 2 is to be called again by HR to propose some local interviews with the managers. And the second part is really to check the fit with the manager, which is super important. You can have the best program. If you don't match with your manager, it will be like a problem. And also the technical skills.
For the position, yes.
Yeah, for the position.
What about your own hiring process?
So for my hiring process, I was invited to the assessment center here in Paris. So it's a really informal day. So you're together with some other candidates. And I think one of the good parts was that even in the assessment center day, we had the presence of the group chief strategy officer. So he came and he took the time to tell us a bit more about the company, explain a little bit about the strategy. So when we were actually ready to do the business case, we already had a background of the company. And I think it's really the moment that you can actually show yourself and that you have a HR interview, you talk to someone else in the company. So you have different moments there to show what you're there for.
And is there any prerequisites to integrate this graduate program?
Well, yes. The first one is you need to be graduated maximum 2 years from now, if I can say. English is the language to survive, which is only the language to survive, and other languages such as Portuguese, Spanish are very, very much appreciated.
All right. And did you have access to different kind of training during your graduate?
Yes, so first of all, for the induction week, so it's the first 2 weeks after we joined the program, We have 1 week in Paris where we get to know some of the members of the company, so the executive committee, and we have some training. So Edenred is a payment company, so it's a bit specific, the environment that we work at. So they take the time and explain to you how does it work, etc. Then for the second week, you go to a specific country. So for instance, I was in Italy.
Right.
And from there you get to see all the positions that you have. So you spend 1 day with field sales, 1 day with telesales, finance. So you do a bit of a rotation in the company. And apart from that, also you have a language training. So for instance, if you don't speak Portuguese and you go to Brazil, of course you have some Portuguese lessons.
Yeah.
And what strikes you the most during your graduate program?
I think for me it's really the opportunity to take on the responsibility. So from day one you already have pretty much a lot of autonomy, you have responsibilities, and also it's an international program. So the opportunity for you to meet other cultures, for you to experience an international work environment for such a young graduate, it's a unique opportunity.
And you told me that this is a really tough program and that they need to be aware that this is really challenging. What does that mean?
I think
Do you want me
yes.
to answer that one?
I think the challenging part comes also with the international part.
Sure.
So for instance, you don't get to choose 100% what you're going to do, where you're going to live. So you need to be flexible. So you need to be willing to learn about the position that you're going to. You need to adapt to the country that you're going. So for instance, I went to Singapore and I had never been in Asia before. So for me, it was quite an experience to arrive there, understand a bit more about the local culture, try to fit in, and at the same time, do your mission.
And to complete what Carolina just said, for instance, the language is a really huge challenge. So we are offering some language lessons, but where you are starting from a very basic level, basically what happens, you arrive in the country, you don't speak the language, almost no one speaks English, and you arrive. You are new, you need to understand the role, you need to understand the language. So it's a lot to do, and this is happening twice. So that's why we say
this is really
it's a
challenging.
huge challenge, a wonderful challenge, but you need to be ready because it's really not easy.
Yeah.
We're speaking about integration. Do you have any commitments in terms of CSR?
Yes, we have. And I think that it's something which is really good at Edenred is that I feel like almost every employee in the group knows what we are doing, which for me showed the fact that it's not only, the policies that we put on the internet website. So basically we have 3 pillars, ideal planet, ideal people, and ideal progress. To give you a very brief example of what we are doing at the group level, for instance, we are organizing once per year around the ideal people part. Local charities employees are doing 1 day where they're working with local charities, and it's everyone 1 day at the same time. So I think it's really precious. Not everyone, not every company gives this opportunity and this time to charities, and so that's a great example. And the other one that I really like is we are organizing a course connecté. I don't know how to translate that, connected race, if I can say. And the goal is really to target, I don't remind the precise number of kilometers, but every employee is running, walking, swimming, whatever, in order to reach the kilometers.
Doing sport,
exactly, basically, even walk if we can. And at the end, the idea is to give money to a charity that is called Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish
Foundation.
It's a very big association, and I really like this kind of event. And I also know that this really is much appreciated by the Eden Steppers, but by every employee basically at Edenred.
If I can share my experience, so for instance, the ideal day in Singapore, so we stopped working for 1 day. Everyone at the offices, we went to a beach and we were doing the cleaning. So we were picking up trash.
So not swimming, right?
Not swimming, no. Not
Careful.
picking up trash, but it was all the employees, the CEO was there. We all put on the Edenred t-shirt and tried to do something nice for the society.
And it's really like everyone in the organization, even the CEO is doing this.
All
So
right.
everyone is really committed
Is
on
really
our
All right.
CSR strategy.
Well, now we'll see the rules at Edenred. So I'll ask you do or don't, and you'll have to answer as quick as you can. Ready?
Yes.
Here we go. All right, so first question, do or don't dressing casually for an interview?
Don't.
Okay, can you precise how they need to be?
Like, don't come with flip-flops or jeans because it will be, we know that
The
you
outlier.
may be smart, but like in Edenred, for the recruitment part, I advise you to be more like, not casual, if I can say.
Just a bit more formal.
Yeah,
a
just for the
shirt,
recruitment part.
yes.
But don't worry, at the end, in the office, in the
Yeah.
day-to-day, you can come in jeans and basket, and that's okay.
Is there the Friday wear?
Sure.
Yes, casual Friday, yes. In all the offices I worked, there was.
All right. Do or don't speaking too informally in an interview?
Do, I think.
Okay.
We should be like, we
I
should
mean,
have
you
answered
should be
like,
yourself, yes,
yeah.
sorry.
Okay, so do. Speaking too informally around the office?
Do.
Do. Asking for tea when you offer coffee?
Do. Yeah.
Do or don't bringing a paper copy of your resume to an interview?
Do.
No?
I mean, I
We're
wouldn't
speaking-
know, yes, I guess. Do.
Is it a mandatory? Do they need to bring their...
No,
no.
that's not. We will have your resume if you have invited you. We know it. But like, if you want to show that you have prepared your interview with your paper, like, they will have no impact on the fact that you will be recruited or not.
Okay, good point. Do or don't saying I don't know at work or doing a job interview?
Do. Yes.
Do you have an example?
Yes, I think really Edenred lets you ask as many questions as you want, so there is no wrong or right
Yes.
question. So there is absolutely no problem of saying, I don't know, could you please explain?
Yeah, and we much prefer to hear I don't know instead of yes, and finally we realize it's absolutely like
Yeah.
not clear.
And we didn't mention that part, but what about the relationship with the manager?
Right. I think from my experience, all the managers that I had, they were pretty open. So I think they always take the time to explain to you what they want, what they are looking for. So yes, as I said, you're free to ask questions and also to propose ideas, I would say.
Yeah.
I think you have a pretty good connection to high management. So yes.
That's really something that is precious at Edenred. The fact that whatever the level of the organization, people are reachable. You know, like the CEO stays the CEO for sure, but like he's super friendly, and it's the case for all of his peers. And it's something that is, I think, really precious in our company.
All right, so let's go back to the do or don't. Do or don't talking negatively about a former employer during the job interview?
Don't.
How should they do when they leave a really bad experience in their past job?
Well, they can express how much, well, it's my HR point of view. And as you can see, I have been like super direct. No, but I think that, you know, in every experience that you will have plus, you will have some things which have been a bit tough, and be very cautious in the way you introduce it. It's normal to have challenges. It's normal sometimes to have some arguments with some people. It can happen, but be cautious in the way you express it in order that the interviewers understand that it's like not a problem of attitude or this kind of stuff, but like more a general problem. That will be my recommendation.
Yeah, I think so. I would also say don't. I mean, I think we have a lot of respect. So in this case, I think it's just a way of putting it.
All right. Do or don't admitting failure?
Do.
Do or don't exaggerating past experience?
Don't.
What about
Looking at me like, don't.
Do or don't using a social network to apply?
Do.
LinkedIn,
yes.
Which
LinkedIn.
ones? LinkedIn only?
Mainly.
Or is there...
Yeah,
All right.
mainly.
So we have a question from Sriram. He wants to know, do they accept graduate students from industrial engineering educational background?
For sure.
Yeah?
We accept everyone who wants to come as long as they are smart, motivated, and willing to learn.
All right. So, do or don't expressing your opinion, you'll just say, yeah, of course, this is in the culture. Expressing your disagreement to your manager.
Do.
Taking notes during an interview. Is it
Do.
important to take
It's
notes?
not
I mean, I
important.
don't think it's important, but I mean, feel free.
All right.
Yeah, feel free. That's a good answer.
And asking questions during the job interview.
Do for
Isn't
sure.
something really valuable for the candidate to ask
Yes.
questions? Yeah.
I think it's your moment also to learn about the company.
Yeah.
I mean, it's both ways.
Yeah. How did you prepare for your job interview?
So for my job interview, I think it's 2 steps. First, for the recruitment center, I did a bit of research about the company. So as I said, it's a specific environment. So I think it's good for you to know the background. And also make sure that you're prepared for all the questions that we could have. Okay, so go through the values of the company, etc. And on the second moment, for the specific interview that you have with your country manager, is more about the position. So understand more about the mission that you're given. I mean, what would you need? And also, as I said, ask the hiring manager. I mean, what does he like about the company? What does he think you would need, etc.
All right, last questions. Do or don't working on your body language?
Do.
If you have a problem with your body language.
All right, now we'll spend the last 3 minutes together. You'll have to convince them to join you. We'll see that in the last but not least part. Okay, so we'll see a picture. You came with a picture. Can you describe this picture? You can see the picture on the screen.
Yes, so in this picture we have actually a collage of some pictures from the graduates. Some of them are from my year. And I think what is interesting here is it was the first week that we were in Paris. And you can still see how everyone was really having fun. So we were just discovering the group. We had just learned where we would go next. So I think it was still the moment of excitement.
Yeah.
So
Are you on one of those pictures? Sure.
yes, I'm in all of them. I think actually in the one with the sweatshirt, I'm in the pink shorts.
I see you.
Yes, and also me in the striped shirt.
All right.
Yes, but I think most of all what I wanted to pass is that the Edenred program, it's a really amazing opportunity for young graduates that want to have an international experience. So not only you get to experience the culture of the country, understand a bit more about the global organization, but you get also to feel 2 positions. So I mean, you can try marketing, you can try finance, and this is also super interesting for you to learn what you want, what you like, what do you fit at. And I think also you would be part of a community. So you are welcome in 2 teams, okay? So you have a bunch of colleagues, etc. And you will also be part of the Eden Steppers, as we call ourselves.
Yeah.
So part of the Eden Step program. So even today, I mean, we're spread all over the world. I'm working here in Paris. We have someone in Finland, in Mexico, in Brazil, and we're still part of a community.
Victoria, last word.
No, I would say that Eden Step, I really feel like it's a journey for a young graduate. And we said it's tough for sure, but I am really like 100% sure that at the end of the program, you go and you're able to adapt everywhere, whatever the role, whatever the country, because you have been like trained to do that. So I think for a young graduate, it's really powerful to have this kind of opportunity.
All right. You at home, you can apply. I will tell you all to that. You at home, if you want to apply, you can apply at edenred.com or jobteaser.com. Thank you both.
Thank you for having us
and sharing your experiences.
Thank you.
And you at home, see you very soon for a new live.